Hello everyone, welcome back to the Cool Tech channel. In today's video, I want to talk about SharePoint. And for those of you who don't know what SharePoint is a Microsoft collaboration platform that allows company employees collaborate, or it allows different team members at an organization collaborate amongst themselves. That's what it's primarily used for. That's what I've seen it used for. And because we get inquiries about it and we have to provide support when it comes to SharePoint and comes up a lot, I thought I'd shoot this video to show you guys how to, number one, create a SharePoint site. There's a lot we can go over, but what I'm going to go over specifically in this video is how to create a SharePoint site and how to assign different permissions. Very simple, but hopefully very helpful. But before I jump into it and show you how to do all of that, please make sure to like and subscribe, and let's go. All right, so let's dive into this and show you how to create your SharePoint site. So the first thing you want to do is you want to log into your Office 365 or Microsoft 365 portal by going to portal.office.com. That's the way I like to do this. And if you're using, depending on which account, I guess I'm just going to use that same account, but you need to sign in, obviously. Go ahead and sign in like this. And so I have two-factor authentication or multi-factor authentication enabled, obviously. So once you're in here, you want to go to SharePoint, which is right there. Click SharePoint, and then we're going to go ahead and create a site. It's here in the upper left-hand corner. You're going to click on Create Site. And the most common type, at least for this demonstration and for what we were talking about when it comes to collaboration, this is the more common option, the team site, and that's what I'm going to go over. This is again done for collaboration purposes, and from the templates here, I'm just going to go with the standard team template, and I'm going to say use template. You can pick another one depending on your use case, and I'm going to call it a name. Obviously, in this case, I'm just going to call it test. So the system is going to go through and check to make sure that it's available. If it's not available, you'll get some kind of an error message, like in this case. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to call it test 2. Again, just for the purposes of this demonstration. Once it verifies that everything is available, we'll click next. And then here you have to tell the system, or you have to tell it if you want to do it, if you want to make it private or you want to make it public. A lot of times this is a private site. Again, this is for the team members or members of an organization to collaborate amongst each other. So a lot of times it's going to be a private site. So that's what I'm going to select, and I'm going to say create site. Now, here's the fun part. This is where some of the permissions is involved. As I was talking about earlier in the intro to this video, I talked about permissions a little bit. I touched on it. So we need to add members basically to the site. That's how this works. If you have a bunch of employees, or obviously like a bunch of people in your organization, you have to pick which of those you want to give access to this site. So I'm just going to use, I have an email called phone support. I'm just going to use that for the purposes of this demonstration, and I'm just going to make this a member. This person or this email or whatever, you have the choice of making it either a member or an owner. I'm just going to make it a member, and I'm just going to click finish. Now, once I'm done creating the site, I want to show you something interesting here. So a lot of times, like we access these sites and they look very crowded like this, you can definitely edit this site, and it's very simple to edit. All you have to do is click on edit here in the upper right hand corner. So let me show you how to edit this site. So if you guys have a site currently that doesn't look nice or it's crowded, you can literally like edit the site like this. What I like to do is I like to just delete this stuff here, honestly, because it's very crowded. I don't like the way it looks. So I just usually go through this and I just edit and I move this. I like my documents library or my documents list to show up here in the upper left hand corner, so it's clean and clear. This stuff here I like to get rid of usually, and then I'll click republish in the upper right hand corner and confirm, republish, and look how clean it looks like now. So when you start adding folders, so let's say I'm adding a folder, I'm just gonna call it test again. That's my favorite name, I guess, for these different folders and sites and stuff that I do. Create it. Boom, right there. So you see, it looks clean. It's here. You don't have to go to the lower right hand corner or look around for it. It's just right here. And within test, you can go in here and create your documents. Or if you already have created documents, you can just literally like drag and drop. Or you can upload and then you can just basically browse your computer. You can say, hey, let me look for files, and then whatever. You can go around and look, browse, and upload. So that's how you create a SharePoint site. Now I'm going to talk a little bit about permissions. So, all right, so to work with permissions, you basically now it's at home. It's on the home option here. You want to go to documents actually to mess around with the access. And here's the folder we created. So let's say this is a shared repository, or this is like a folder that you're working with at your organization, and you want to manage access and work with permissions basically. So once you come in here, you're going to click these three dots here. Now don't do it from home because you're not going to see that manage access option. You'll see the dots, but when you click this, it's a limited menu. You won't see the option we're looking for. You have to go to documents, and then in here you'll click the three dots, and you'll go to manage access. And then from here, you want to basically grant access. So you look for the name of the person. So I'm just going to give myself, let's say, access to this. And I'm going to basically say this is optional. You can notify or not notify, either way, but you'll grant access. And that's how you grant access to a person or to people. So you keep adding as many emails as you want, and then that's how you grant access. So let's say you have a folder and you hire someone and you want to give that person access. That's how you do it, basically. All right, so one thing you can do also is if you want to do more advanced type, like more granular permissions, is you can click on the more options here and then advanced settings. So earlier we did the grant access, but now what we're doing is we're going here, we're going to manage access, we're going to these three dots up here, and then we're going to advanced settings. Once you're in here, if this is inheriting permissions, you can stop the inheritance, and once that's stopped, then you can basically give more granular permissions. You can grant permissions. So to that folder, you can basically grant certain people certain permissions. So let's say I'm going to work with myself here again, and I'm going to click show options, and there you go. Boom. Here's the permission level. You can be very granular about this. You can give full control, design, edit. So you can pick what level, or read only, for example. So let's say I'm giving myself full control and I'm sharing. So I should get a notification in my email basically telling me that I was granted permission or access to that particular folder or repository. So I think I'm going to stop here. This was just a quick overview of how to create a SharePoint site and how to grant permissions and access to different team members.
All right, everyone, this concludes our video for today. So we went over how to create a SharePoint site and how to grant access and work with some permissions when it comes to SharePoint. At a later time, I may shoot another video and go into more details on permissions. There's a lot we can talk about, but for today, I think it's enough. I don't want to make this video too long, but hopefully it was enjoyable and hopefully you found benefit in it. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. And until next time, take care, everybody. Bye now.